the most controversial ancient city in the world. The unearthing of Khirbet Qeiyafa. A deeper look into the truth of the excavation. For many decades we have relied on the word of archaeologists, scientists and those who wish to control for our ancient origins. It is beginning to become more apparent that the covering or hiding of truth for their benefit is the normal. This video is an uncovering of the truth in the controversial archaeological dig of the city of Khirbet Qeiyafa. In the late 11th to late 10th century BCE, the area of Khirbet Qeiyafa could have been dominated either by a Philistine city-state to its west, or by an emerging highlands territorial formation to its east. The excavation directors were Professor Yosef Garfinkel, Hebrew University, and Mr. Saar, Ganor, Israel Antiquities Authority. Khirbet Qeiyafa, an unsensational archaeological and historical interpretation, by Israel Finkelstein and Alexander Fantorkin, Tel Aviv University. Link in description. The article deals with the finds at the late Iron Age settlement of Khirbet Qeiyafa, a site overlooking the valley of Elah, in the Khirbet. It points out the methodological shortcomings in both fieldwork and interpretation of the finds. It then turns to several issues related to the finds, the identity of the inhabitants, their territorial affiliation and the possibility of identifying Khirbet Qeiyafa with sites mentioned in the Bible and in the Shoshan Qi list. Garfinkel and Ganor have been excavating the site of Khirbet Qeiyafa, overlooking the valley of Elah in the Khirbet, since 2007, and their work has attracted much attention in the scholarly community. They presented preliminary results very shortly after the beginning of the dig, and have now published a final report of the 2007 to 2008 season. Garfinkel and Ganor first suggested identifying Khirbet Qeiyafa with biblical Azaka, probably tending to then date the pottery of the site to the Iron Age BC, ignoring the fact that the pottery and coins that have thus far been published date this phase to the first decades of the 4th century BCE, rather than to the early Hellenistic period, as argued by the excavators. Comments on the excavators' fieldwork method. Modern archaeology calls for a slow, clean operation, with emphasis on stratigraphic details. It is doubtful whether the Khirbet Qeiyafa excavations comply with these requirements. The fact that the site was being dug in haste is well documented by the excavators. In a 2-week excavation season in 2007, the dig reached bedrock in 2 squares along the casemate wall. Garfinkel and Ganor proclaimed the site Israeli, due to that lack of pig bones, claiming Israelis don't eat pork. But, in the history of the Palestine, many of the Palestinian cultures never ate pork either. Instead of going by what they found at the archaeological dig, they went by what they didn't find. This is what is so controversial about this particular archaeological dig. The Israelis have fought and continue to fight the Palestinians for control of this land. So with the agenda of control, Israeli-backed archaeologist has been caught falsifying the findings of Khirbet Qeiyafa. Who were the inhabitants of Khirbet Qeiyafa? Assigning identity to the inhabitants of an early Iron Age site solely on the basis of the archaeological record is notoriously difficult, as most traits can be interpreted in more than one way. The finds at Khirbet Qeiyafa do not provide a clear-cut answer to this question. To read more about the Khirbet Qeiyafa archaeological dig, please read Khirbet Qeiyafa, an unsensational archaeological and historical interpretation, by Israel Finkelstein and Alexander Fantorkin. Telephone Aviv University. Photographs in this video were received from the Khirbet Qeiyafa Archaeological Project website and Khirbet Qeiyafa, an unsensational archaeological and historical interpretation, by Israel Finkelstein and Alexander Fantorkin. Thanks for watching WPTO. We're peeling the onion.